I wanted to get to this. You talk about Jeff Iafrate on the morning show saying he'd shave his head again if Jalen Carter fell to 18. Maz, you said you'd shave your head.
No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. No. No, I didn't say anything about that.
Oh, okay.
That's why I used Jeff. I'm like, bring Jeff back and let him say that.
I would not be shocked if Jalen Carter slid to 18. And I'll tell you why.
Okay. Because you just took some Quaaludes?
No. And hear me out on this.
Lemons?
Hear me out on this. If you're an NFL general manager, there's one thing you cannot do. Otherwise, you get fired. You know what that is?
Draft a criminal?
Miss on first-round picks. If you miss on first-round picks, you get fired. That's just... You're fired! Thank you, Vince. That's just the way it is. If you miss on consecutive first-round picks, well, then you're definitely out.
You won't get a job again
yes,
if you miss consecutively.
Exactly. If you miss consecutively, that affects your second job.
Yeah.
But if you miss out on a first-round pick, you're definitely going to get fired, most likely. It's going to take a team that has 2 first-round picks to take Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is going to be picked by a team with 2 first-round picks. And there are 4 teams with 2 first-round picks: Seattle, Houston, Detroit, and Philadelphia. You look at Seattle. Are they taking him at 5?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Why not?
Well, maybe they take a quarterback there or Tyree Wilson. Potentially he could get taken at 5, but he's not lasting until 20.
Well, Tannenbaum's got him taking Hooker.
Right. But he's not lasting until 20. Is Houston taking him at 2?
No.
They're going to take their quarterback C.J. Stroud at 2. Then you know what they're going to do at 12? They're going to come back and get a wide receiver for their quarterback that they just got. So Houston's probably out. You look at Detroit. Detroit at 6. Are they going to take Jalen Carter at 6?
I hope.
We hope. If they don't, they wait till 18. But if Jalen Carter doesn't get picked 10th to Philadelphia, he's going to wait till 18.
Yeah.
If Jalen Carter does not get picked 10th to Philadelphia, he will slide to 18.
Okay, tell me who's picking 11 through 18.
All right, 11, Tennessee.
Why? They just got rid of half their team.
Well, they select Anthony Richardson there. The only player you can miss on is a quarterback, by the way.
He's not lasting that
and
long.
I'll tell you, I think Anthony Richardson is going to get taken by a team with 2 first-round picks as well. Just saying. Whether that's Seattle or Detroit or somebody.
Maz, what makes you so sure Anthony Richardson won't be there at 10, 11, 12?
Because he's going top 3.
But you thought that about someone last year.
No, I didn't say that. I said I want to take Malik Willis. Everyone says I said take him at 3.
I never said
take
that.
him at 2.
I never said that. But you thought Malik would be off the board.
I said take him in the first round.
But you thought he'd be off the board. Okay, all right. Well, that is.
Anthony Richardson ain't Malik Willis.
Well, I know that. I'm not asking you that, but I'm just saying, like, last year you thought a similar thing. I'm just asking you, what makes you so sure that he'll be on the board? Like, he won't make it past.
I just don't think I don't see it.
Yeah.
What he did in the combine alone, he earned himself a top 5
if
spot.
he was playing wide receiver.
Okay, we'll see.
You know, if you're Chicago at 9, you keep mentioning Chicago at 9. I don't know if that new general manager could avoid a swing and miss. If Jalen Carter doesn't work out, you have insulated yourself with your other first-round pick.
The problem is it's no hearsay with Jalen Carter. If you're if you're in the top 10, if you're top 10 picks and you're a GM and you know it's hearsay, like, oh, we've heard some rumblings about his characteristics, or we heard that he was clocked going this, a bunch of I heards, or that I heard this or this. That's one thing, and then when you don't pick that guy up, when you draft that guy, well, I can understand why you drafted, because it was a lot of hearsay, it was a lot of rumor mill stuff, it wasn't necessarily a lot of validity to it. But when you see Jalen Carter basically have no air, no wind, gasping for breath, trying to finish out his workout that he definitely knew he had, when you hear the incident come out and you hear the racing and he left the scene of crime and somebody died at the scene of crime, and then he comes back, then you see that he was speeding, he was going 95 and a 40, months before that. Well, these are things that really came out. These were things that people really saw. These were things that your fan base knew that you knew before you drafted him. So if the fan base sees that, then you draft that guy and it doesn't work out, that's what Ryan Ermanni is saying. Like, now you're like, we got to get this guy out of here, because you knew that happened and you still ignored it, still drafted him, and it happened to play it out like that. So I can see exactly what
Who's
you're
at 12?
12. So Anthony Richardson to the Tennessee Titans because they say Malik Willis isn't it, and Ryan Tannehill's 35 years old.
You're reading Tannenbaum.
Yeah,
right?
I'm
just give me who's picking.
Houston picks Quentin Johnson.
Go ahead. 13.
Paris Johnson Jr., the offensive tackle from Ohio State, to the Jets.
Okay, so the Jets aren't going to take him.
The Patriots take Darnell Wright, offensive tackle, Tennessee.
So the Patriots aren't going to take him.
The Green Bay Packers offensive tackle run.
So the Packers aren't going to take him.
Offensive tackle from Ohio State to the Packers. Washington selects Dalton Kincaid, tight end from Utah.
So the Commanders are going to pass on him. Okay.
17 is the Pittsburgh Steelers, Devin Witherspoon, corner.
So they're going to take a corner over him.
Yeah,
okay.
Replacing Emmanuel.
Everybody you just named, like, they have quarterbacks, man. He just drafted Kenny Pickett last week.
No, I'm talking about Jalen Carter.
Oh, Jalen Carter. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to have all those teams. Those teams are all needy. And they're going to pass on Jalen Carter.
Are they needy and a potential criminal? Like, I'm not saying he's a criminal. He's not. I have been on the Jalen Carter.
You're the guy that defends people.
Exactly. But I'm defending him too. But I'm playing devil's advocate because I played in that world. I know how those guys think. I know how those GMs think. I know how those owners are on that pressure. So I know that side of it. I'm not saying it from logical individuals like us. They're like, we know we need Jalen Carter. We know he makes the most sense. I still stick Jalen Carter at 6. But I'm just saying when you're looking at those franchises, they're like, the potential criminal thing is like, it's a big thing. Like, it's a real thing for these GMs and these owners. It's like, I don't want to be in that position.
It's easy to say take Jalen Carter, but when it's
not you,
when it's on when your job is on the line, are you taking a player that you are not sure you can count on? And that is why I believe that Jalen Carter is going to be taken by a team with 2 first-round picks in this draft, and that is Seattle, Houston, Detroit, and Philadelphia, and you can almost wipe out Houston. You can wipe out Houston because they're going to go, in my opinion, quarterback, wide receiver.
As a GM,
2 and 12.
As a GM and as a first-round draft pick, there is one word that you don't want to be synonymous with your name, and it goes for the GM and it goes for the players as well. You don't want to be a bust. You don't want to be a bust because players that get labeled as bust, guess what? Those GMs that drafted them, they are no longer employed by the NFL. And a bust pick isn't a mispick. If you get labeled as drafting a bust, you're gonna get dropped again.
No doubt.
You're the guy that compares Jalen to Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp got crapped on in his draft.
Maz, you don't.
And he's in the Hall of Fame.
But Maz, you failed to decipher me and what I would do versus me giving you how those GMs and the front offices think. Me, as Braylon Edwards, I'm drafting Jalen Carter because I would have drafted Warren Sapp. And you see what happened with Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp was the best defensive tackles of all time, arguably the best defense of all time, Baltimore Ravens, but here's the second. So I would draft him. But from the front office position, you really got to think about the traits and the trends that you've seen. If this is something that's going to be a consistent behavior, then it's showing you the direction in which he's going in. Like, this is the Motor City. You know, you're going to be racing cars and doing all that kind of stuff, and next time it won't be your boy that died, it'll be you. So I can see the hesitancy if you're a front office position and how they do it. I still would draft Jalen Carter.
Don't you think these teams are all going to talk to him like we all said? The Lions are going to fly him in and talk to him on a pre-draft day.
That's why.
Don't you think every team's going to do that? And don't you think they're going to say, hey, you can't be doing the crap that you just did? And what's he going to say? Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'll never do that again.
But Ja Morant was seen with guns 4 times before the Memphis Grizzlies finally said enough is enough. We got to come up with a situation. Ja Morant, don't you think? And this is what we said. Well, don't you think a player would say to him, "You're about to waste $230 million, or you're about to blow this deal and blow that"? Guess what? Didn't matter. He did it anyway.